morning showers and on this supply enough time to know nothing at all. I see the lines. There's two lines.
I'm Sarah. I'm the founder of Laff. Laff reaching 15 years is very exciting because it was just such a baby for a long time. When we started Laff, it was very much an organic thing. I was working here in Cusco and in contact with a lot of kids' homes here, and we were sending volunteers to the kids' homes, but really they just needed more resources, so they weren't constantly distracted from the well-being of the kids. When I went back to the UK, we started to fundraise for these kids' homes. Yeah, everything just happened like in flow, really. Like back in 2007, when I'd been living in Peru for a few years, then I'd got to know the area and the kids' homes around here and what the real needs were and everything. And then it was time to go back to the UK, but I still wanted to keep contacts here and support where I could. And yeah, I had a really good group of friends back in the UK who sort of all kind of came together and made it happen. Encouraged me to sort of set up Laff as an official charity in the UK. And yeah, then we did lots of fundraising events and just kept it going that way. We chose to work in partnership with local organisations here is because they were already working with the beneficiaries, and they knew what the needs were on the ground, and we wanted to support them towards sustainability, doing the amazing things that they were doing, really. As I'm coming back here now, having been away, I noticed one of the first things I noticed was one of the mantai shops that sprung up in the centre of Cusco, which gave me such joy, because what we've always tried to do is not just support the organisations, but support them towards their own sustainability goals, so that we're not creating any kind of dependency. So that just gives me a lot of joy to sort of see them on that path that we were helping them towards initially. That's a real success now. Just the enthusiasm and energy of the volunteer team coming through, all the time, gives me a lot of joy to see as well. And obviously we're at the point now where after this amount of time, we're seeing kids who've been through the school system now, and that's something that gives me a lot of joy as well, to sort of see that these are kids that may not have been able to access that education without the support, and they have, and it's made a difference in their lives. So a lot of the Laff memories I have are connected to the UK, but one really special time was when we got to come back to Peru, having just swum the channel, and we had just pulled quite a significant pot of funds together, and we were able to come to Peru and then see where that fund would go and how it would support the partners. And that had been the first visit back for a number of years, and it was really nice to be able to come back with those who were involved with Laff in the UK, and in particular Hannah, who was no longer with us, but she was a founding member of Laff, so that was a really particularly special time, to sort of come back and see the projects in action. So in order for us to do that fundraising, we had to set up Laff as an NGO, but it was initially just with the idea of being able to support these partners and the kids in particular to access school. That was our initial aim, and then to be able to support them towards sustainability, so that it wasn't a dependency that we were creating here. That was really important to us. But I did not expect Laff to be going 15 years on, so this is wonderful to see. So the colour choices for Laff came from Peruvian blanket, essentially, and they were the colours that were chosen by women who were working in the local area, so they have sort of local significance, but connected to nature as well. The one thing I would like to say is just a huge thank you to everyone who supported Laff across the years, because Laff would not have grown to what it is today without that support. And it's been a whole family of people who've grown Laff from being a baby to a teenager. So it's really nice to be able to share that journey with people and have a huge community of supporters like who've helped us across the years. So thanks to everyone who has.
Hola, hola amigo, ¿cómo estás?
¿Todo
Bienvenido a Silvashi.
Comencé a vivir en Azulhuasi en 2009 cuando tenía 11 años. Después de que mi padre falleció, mi hermano y yo nos mudamos allí porque mi madre tenía 3 hijos menores que cuidar. Así que ella vivió en Cusco con mi tía y mis 3 hermanas y nos visitó en Oropesa. Los fines de semana, cuando tenía 14 años, ella consiguió un trabajo en Azulhuasi, así que se mudó acá con mis hermanos. En Azulhuasi ellos siempre inculcaron buenas costumbres en nosotros. El señor Alcides quería que nos ayudemos en nuestro camino hacia ser hombres buenos. Me gustaba vivir mucho con otros niños porque aprendí mucho de ellos y también a compartir. Estoy estudiando inglés porque quiero tener una carrera en turismo. Estoy escribiendo una tesis sobre Rainbow Mountain. Mi sueño es hacer guía de excursiones de aventura y me encantaría visitar Brasil y lugares de Europa como Inglaterra y Francia. Creo que la gente puede aprender mucho visitando otros países y visitando diferentes culturas. Quiero ser un guía turístico porque me gusta conocer gente nueva y también porque creo que en este momento no siempre soy muy sociable y me gustaría mejorar esto. Laff es una gran ayuda para las personas que apoyan, por ejemplo para mí. En ese momento no lo sabía, pero luego aprendí que mientras estaba en Azulhuasi contaba con el apoyo de Laff. Nos apoyaron con los materiales para tener educación y ahora me está ayudando con mi inglés. Vengo a la oficina de Laff 2 veces por semana para practicar mi inglés. Hemos estado aprendiendo mucho vocabulario relacionado con el turismo e incluso recitando un poema. Realmente me ha ayudado con mi confianza y pronunciación.
Amigo Alejandro, sigue adelante.
Yo me llamo Idalis, tengo 15 años, estoy cursando el 4º grado de secundaria y bueno, agradezco a Laff por apoyarme en mis estudios, que va a ser muy bueno en mi futuro. Mi proyecto de vida, ahora voy a empezar a estudiar floristería y después pienso estudiar gastronomía y después tener una carrera universitaria.
Bueno, mi nombre es Vanessa Sinche Gómez. Soy de la comunidad de Yamamayo. Mi nombre es Luz Brenda Machinchi. Yo soy de la comunidad de Chauracocha y tengo 14 años. Yo llegué cuando tenía 11 años. Yo llegué cuando tenía 12 años. Bueno, Global nos enseñó a ser líderes en nuestras comunidades como mujeres porque en nuestras comunidades los ciudadanos siempre para presidente, para algo así, siempre eligen a los varones, no a las mujeres, y nosotras queremos ser líderes en nuestras comunidades y decirles que las mujeres también tenemos derecho a ser líderes. Y también nos gustó mucho ese taller de Global, que es un taller muy importante para nosotros y nos enseña a ser líderes como mujer. En el Global 2 yo aprendí a ser como mujer una líder de mi comunidad ya que en nuestras comunidades, como dice mi compañera, solo eligen a los varones a ser un líder, siempre presidente o presidente, y así, solo los varones, no hay mujeres, y es importante que nosotros también seamos un líder para nuestra comunidad. Nosotros también tenemos derecho a ser un líder para ser un líder de nuestra comunidad, y fue muy lindo lo que nos enseñó del proyecto Global Girl, y lo que me gustó fue cuando hemos hecho el evento, y tal vez teníamos un poco de miedo al presentarnos a hacer la primera vez, pero sí hemos logrado lo que nos hemos propuesto, y fue muy lindo. Este proyecto nos apoya mucho y tienen que estudiar para que sean profesionales, que estudien más para lograr sus sueños.
Mosco es un programa de jóvenes en que se basa a ayudar lo que realmente tal vez muchos jóvenes no tienen esa oportunidad de estudiar, ¿no? Por ejemplo, económicamente, personalmente depende mucho, por ejemplo, lo que es el estudio en el Perú, no sé si se enteró, por ejemplo, dependemos mucho de lo que es la parte económica. Si tienes buena parte económica puedes estudiar en cualquier universidad privada. En mi caso no tuve esa oportunidad, por ejemplo, pero siempre me gusta estudiar, es algo interesante que ha sido, y creo que motivante para los estudiantes es que el estudiar nunca es tarde. Estudiar es la única forma que te puede hacer a uno feliz, porque te saca de lo que es la pobreza, por ejemplo. Tienes una economía estable cuando eres profesional. Moscow brinda muchas cosas que nosotros no podemos tener, por ejemplo, los talleres, clases de inglés. Bueno, en ese sector de los idiomas vas a aprender muchas cosas, y Moscow sí les va a hacer realidad sus sueños. Y es algo bonito que yo estoy viviendo, por ejemplo, ahora, que estoy siguiendo, y solo tienes que ser perseverante, motivante, tienes que enfocarte en lo que es estudiar y dar resultados al fruto que te están brindando, ¿no? O sea, las oportunidades de Moscow.
I was a Laff volunteer in 2020 during pandemic. So I'd been interested in monitoring evaluation for some time. I had this interest in Latin American culture, and I knew that I wanted to be able to support the lovely Peruvian people from afar, because I couldn't do it in person anymore. Laff works directly with organizations who work directly with people. So I worked primarily with Azulasi on the school tutoring program. So during COVID, the students were receiving their education via the radio, which is probably not sufficient. And so Laff enlisted a few tutors for, I think, over 100 young boys. Laff meant more to me than I think anyone would ever know. I was experiencing my own pandemic concerns in life, and I needed some way to reconnect myself to Peru. I can only imagine the impact that Laff has had over 15 years. It must be grand. It's had a huge impact. I mean, you look around places, talk with people on the phone, and they're proud of the successes that they've had over the years. Or you come into a place like this and you go, wow, look at the accomplishments that we've had. Maybe not, it's not Laff by itself by any means, but Laff with Muscoy or Mantai or Azulasi, and there's been major progress over those 15 years, and Laff should be very proud, and every volunteer should be very proud as well.
has been one of the best experiences in my life so far. It's just the purpose-driven work that I was able to do and the people I met just filled my heart in so many ways. So looking back, the 15 years that have gone by, I'd say that everything we have achieved as an organization, a charity, a community, is due to all of this time and effort that people have put into the mission of Laff, as volunteers, as trustees. I'm just so happy to see everything that we have achieved together, and hope to see even more young people accessing education thanks to our community's work.
One of my favourite experiences was obviously visiting the projects, but specifically visiting Sacred Valley Project in Ollantaytambo, where we helped take part in the Global Girl Project, and we helped the girls brainstorm and learn about their communities, and it was just so nice that they were so open to us. I loved the experience. I would talk about it for days.
It was a really, really great way for me to help those who were in a far more challenging situation than I was, and donate my experience and expertise to an organization doing some incredible work.
It was such a fulfilling and emotional experience. The working environment in Laff is amazing. I highly recommend this experience. Volunteering at Laff was so enriching, personally and professionally. Thanks to each one of you that made this journey so magical.
I absolutely loved my time at Laff. It was amazing to work in an office and work with new people and practice my Spanish every day and see how the ins and outs of an NGO works, as I didn't know anything about that before. And it was also great to gain some new skills. I hadn't done a role exactly like that before. I'd done things similar, but never anything like that. So it was really fun. Really taught me a lot about how to work in an office, and yeah, so that was really fun. And I had an amazing time in general at Laff. So happy birthday Laff, happy 15th birthday. It's a great cause, and I really hope you guys continue to be able to make an impact as you are doing. So happy birthday.
I'm Chiara and I'm the People's Trustee at Laff. So I started at Laff in 2015. It was January, and I came here to Cusco to volunteer. But then I kind of fell in love with Cusco and I never left. So I'm here in Cusco when there was an opening. So my program manager was resigning exactly when I was finishing my time as a volunteer. So I applied. I became a program manager. So I was invited to join the board. So this has been my role. Over the 8 years I've been involved with Laff, I've seen it change massively. When I got here, first of all, there was only one member of staff. There was no office. We used to work from cafes or from home, and there were less volunteers. Slowly but steadily, I've seen it grew in terms of people. So the board grew better and bigger. The team in Cusco grew bigger. Now we have 2 members of staff, we have more volunteers. And even if we had to go through 2 years of COVID plus this year's protest, which did affect us as well, we have kept on growing. Things are getting better and better every year. Sometimes we would like to see change happen more quickly, but that's not possible. So we just have to be patient, and we have to recognize the fact that every little change is the result of the efforts of all of these people that are part of Laff. I'm really happy to be here for the 15th anniversary of Laff. Having spent 8 years at Laff, I've had the chance to meet great people among our supporters, and some of them are still with us one way or another. Some others have left, but if anyone who's left Laff get to see this video, just you're remembered, guys. Like your input is still recorded in like videos or reports or stories that we keep on telling each other. And being at Laff is just becoming part of a big family, I think. And it's really hard to just disappear at some point. A piece of you will remain with Laff no matter what. So I just take this chance to say hi to everyone I've ever met while working at Laff.
Este año cumplimos 15 años trabajando aquí en Cusco y estamos muy contentos de poder estar aquí